Hi y'all, my name is Kay, and this is my Cave of Possibilities. It's really under construction right now because we're working on moving back into the cave after having all the walls painted and the recarpeted, but that happened in the entirety of the house. So we had to move out of the house to move back into the house once everything has been done. Princess does not say hi because she's currently angry at me. There you go, little cat. Normally there's yarn behind me and cross stitch over there, but it's still mostly in the storage unit. But I have been busy. I think it was the middle of July when I last talked to you. I've managed to be to 3 different stitching retreats, with one more coming up here towards the end of October. And so that's mostly what I have to talk to you about. So we're going to do a lot of retreaty things, a little bit of stitching because there hasn't been a lot of stitching at home because, well, it's packed up, and that just is what it is. Okay, let's start with the first retreat. The first retreat that I went to was Stitching on the River. Here is our box of goodies from that one, and it was in Boise, Idaho towards the end of July, and it was put on by Maggies in Maine, who their storefront is up in Emmett, Idaho. It was a real easy drive from here in Utah County to Boise, freeway all the way. Traffic patterns were a little weirder than what I am usually used to here in Utah, and depending upon who you talk to, Utahns are the worst drivers or Idahoans are the worst drivers. I think we're all equally bad. My GPS decided to betray me and sent me through downtown Boise on my way to the hotel, so it took extra time to figure out where I needed to be. I worked on 2 projects, and I'll have to show them in picture form since, well, I just took pictures in between, and if I showed you what I did now, then you'd see everything, and that would be everything. The first thing I stitched on was Inspiration by Rosewood Manor, and I gave that a good, here it is, so you know what I'm talking about. I gave that a good day and a half, almost 2 days of working on, and I completed almost half of a little section that I was working on. And so mostly flowers, working in these borders. Yep, in this border section right here. Lots of flowers, lots of changing colors, a little of this, a little of that, and just worked on it, worked until I was sick of it and couldn't stand it anymore. And then after that, I worked on, let's see, Pansies by Embroidery. That was the second project I worked on. And that was a nice one, and I got quite a lot of that done. So hopefully I have before and after pictures. No guarantees, because I'm kind of forgetful about pictures. Our guest designer was Annie from Dirty Annie's, and she was just a delightful girl to have. Woman. I shouldn't say girl. Anyway, she was delightful and really funny, and I enjoyed her. And here is our one of 2 designs she did for the retreat. The gals over at Maggies on Maine wanted it to represent Idaho, so they sent her a little sketch, you know, with mountains and eagles and rivers and forests and trees, and I guess these are a pair of settlers. I named him D'Artagnan because he's got the funky cavalier hat on, like you see in all of the ridiculous movies. But she also did a cute little Let Freedom Ring sheep on the upside down on the back side of the pattern. Let's see if I can get into the kit box. I know, you're in the way. You're not helping. And it is not organized in here because I have been here, there, and wherever. So they gave it to us with, here it is, all the crinkling included. She can't have a good floss tube without some good crinkling. Uh-oh, okay. Included in our kit was all the flosses that we would need, some of the over-dyed flosses and some of the DMCs to do that. They had several versions of the fabric that it was designed on for purchase, and I didn't purchase any of that. There was a cute little needle minder and either a scissor thingy, scissor fob, or a fob for a bag. So a couple of those that came in there. And then Lindsay from Counting Puddles was in attendance, and she gave everybody this cute little snowflake llama. It's one of 2 or 3 designs. I believe the other designs coming out soonish, or have been released. I will say soonish because it was soonish at the retreat, and I do not have a good concept of time or if they've been released already or not. I need a pile for things to go in the trash. I sat with some amazing and fun ladies in Idaho. There was Brooke and Cindy, who I know from Stitchery Express, which is down here in Utah. They're up in Davis County. And then we sat with a whole contingent of wonderful Idahoans. I think Carol sat next to me, and there was Barb and Mary, and 2 more other delightful women whose names have escaped me because I am a terrible, terrible person, and I have a hard time remembering names. I also don't remember who gave what at our tables, but we have little project bags, little scissors here, an adorable fobby thing there, because fobby thing is the technical name. I have a notebook and pen. It's passed out by a wonderful person. Oh look, candies! I haven't eaten them yet. I need to consume those. Those will be done in pretty soon. This beautiful stitchy journal. Pens, papers, everything you need. You can never have too many notepads, as witnessed by the full backs of notepads that I have that are somewhere in the storage unit. And then Brooke and Cindy got together and did a whole bag of random wonderfulness. Stickers, flosses, bits and bobs. They did scissors. I think another lady brought the flosses. Adorable, cute flosses. Needle minder was passed out. What else we got? Teeny tiny Tic Tacs. I think that is the teeniest, tiniest Tic Tac bottle I have ever seen. Maker's Gonna Make. Floss Boss. Wonderful stickers. And I think this is a luggage tag that you can stitch your own stuff on. So that is Stitching on the River in a nutshell. I certainly enjoyed it. The hotel was kind of a funny place. It looked like it had been added onto a time or two. You'd go down one hall and you'd turn a corner and go down that hall and turn a corner and come this way and that way and the other way. 2 elevators, 600 rooms. Really weird. Anyway, that one was a good one. And I think I would go to Stitching on the River again. I would really be interested in who the guest designer is. There were only 100 people. The tables were spaced far enough apart from each other, so it was really easy to get in and around the stitching room. I mean, so much so that my stupid wagon of everything just sat behind my chair, and it really wasn't impeding anybody's flow of traffic. It was great. Ate with the ladies, had a good time. Yeah, so that was Stitching Along the River in Boise, Idaho. 2 thumbs up. I enjoyed it. Oh, I did have purchases. See, I moved all my stuff off to the side. Let's see. I made just a couple purchases. I bought this counting pen. I liked it. Purple, right? Because, of course, purple. And then I had been hearing a little bit of this and that about Atomic Ranch fabric. So I picked up a 28 count Lugana in lavender, whatever this color is. Picked that up, and then I got a 32 count linen Atomic Ranch in Violet Fizz. So there you go. Those were my purchases. I was still feeling not sure if we're coming back to cross stitch full steam. Wasn't going too crazy. Had a good time. Enjoyed it a lot. The next retreat I went to was up in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and that was in August. That was put on by Deborah from Joyful Stitching. She has an online shop. There were about 30 ladies in this one, and it was a heck of a drive. It was a heck of a drive up there. I loved it. If it wasn't an 11.5 hour drive, I would probably go again. They were talking about putting on another one, but they weren't, where did I put my, weren't too sure exactly when or if they were going to do it again. They did not have a guest designer. They had a trunk show from Jeanette Douglas. Is that it? I'm sorting through my thing of things. Trying to figure out. Okay, that was given to us. Purchase. We're almost done. We're almost there, you guys. Almost there. All right. Ready, steady, go. Ready, steady, go. Do you know that song? I know that song. Okay. It's a mess. It's a mess. In our retreat bag, wherever I put it, I think I put it behind me, there were a pair of fat quarters. Everybody got something different and random. I got one that's more fall themed, and then one that says quilters are peacemakers. So some of that would make a really excellent project bag, and some of that would make an excellent thing to finishing fabric. We also got Chubby Squirrel was a new release. I'm having a hard time. I think if Chubby Squirrel wasn't just barely released, because we got one of these cute little chubby animals released early, and then there was a random one of all the previous releases in our bags. So I got Chubby Bee, and then I swear it's Chubby Squirrel, was in everybody's gift bag. Put that there. We've got a couple of chenille trims from Lady Dot Creates for finishing off our projects. We received a pair of the over-dyed threads to help stitch our chubby animals. There was this, I haven't unrolled it to see, I think it's a fat quarter. More fabric, more finishing fabric for our chubby little animals. And a nice needle minder, custom made for the retreat. Really cute. And a pair of snag nabbits, or similar things that are of a different brand. So those were all in our retreat bag, along with little tiny stitchy things. I think people stitch on 56 count for to put in here, but whew, I don't know. It's a little bit small for my eyes, but those two little hoops for finishing up of things. I think I'm just gonna drop these. We are a professional into the bag, so it's at least contained. At least contained. All right. Oh, we also got, I was looking right at them, a random assortment of DMC flosses. We learned how to make cording. My best friend Lisa came with me on this one, so she had her own set of DMCs, and I think we used hers. We must have used hers for the cording lesson, so that was kind of fun to learn how to make cording. And then another of the ladies, 30 people were signed up for the retreat, and a couple couldn't make it at the last minute. And one of the ladies who couldn't make it at the last minute made little needle keeps for everybody. So this is a cute little needle book, iron fabric, kind of fun. She made that for everybody. And then table gifts. I passed out a couple stickers and I'm not digging through that, and a needle minder that said Stitcher on it. And then our table mates also made little, either you could put your needles in these or use the batting as a thread bed. She made enough for the whole room, and then there were extras, so I ended up picking up 2. And so I need to farm those out into a couple of my projects. And then need to go, shall we do what I purchased first or the freebie table? Because either way, it's a lot of stuff. I think I was just in a mood, and that's all there is to it. And so Joyful Stitching does a lot of different bags and stuff. And so I saw these cute little purpley blue owls and little notions bag. Picked them up. So cute. I love them. These are all trying to get away from me because, of course, in the soon-to-be Cave of Possibilities, I will have actual room to put everything out, but right now it's precarious. Don't fall over. Don't tip over the thingy either. Anyway, there was this absolute adorable, cute little kit for the spool thing with finishing ribbon and whatnot. And then there were a couple of the spools that go with it, so I picked that up. I'm gonna have to just keep dumping everything into the retreat bag to keep it from getting away from me. I saw this project bag, box. I don't think this is a new pattern. Yeah, 2018, 2019. So it's not a new one, but for some reason it just hit me. It hit me just right. So I picked that up, and then I also picked up the box to finish everything in. And I picked up the wool and pins and ribbons and things to finish off all of the cute little guys that are in here. Finishing kit box, everything. In we go. This is really going to take an amount of fixing once we are all put together. Purchased the full kit for the mini bouquet collection. I believe these were done as a monthly stitch along in the beginning, and I first saw examples of these at the Billings retreat that I went to way back in June. And Mouse Potato, this gal was at the Billings retreat and she had finished hers, and it was absolutely adorable. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And so I had written down the mini bouquet collection in my little notebook of everything, and so I was kind of pleased to see that. So I bought the book, and then I bought a little bit of vintage country mocha to stitch it on, and this is a 32 count. It's a big old honkin' piece. So there is that. And then between Lisa and I, we had almost every of the chubby animals that had been released, but we didn't have the chubby fox yet. So I bought the chubby fox, and then picked up the rest of the overdyed flosses for the chubby animals. So that was my purchases, which is really quite quite ridiculous and over the edge. And once again, I stitched completely on either Inspiration. Got about another day and a half, almost 2 days. I finished up the area that I was working in, and so I rung the bell for a page finish, you know, the finish bell for my page finish, because I had finished an area and needed to move my pattern along. And then after that, I worked a little bit more on Pansies. And so who would have thought that this is the intent stitch, and when I'm done with the intent stitch, I stitch on super dark navy. Kind of funny. So hopefully there are more pictures as I was talking. I don't know. Then off of the freebie table, I picked up another cute little notions bag. We had Heather, who sat at our table, inherited the stash of a longtime stitcher. And so Heather had made an initial sweep through the stash and chose a lot of stuff that she was going to keep. And then she brought a lot of stuff in to share with everybody on the freebie table. And so it was beautiful, beautiful, high quality stuff. And it was nice to know that, here's an idea of what to do with my stash or how to instruct my siblings. Find somebody before I die and tell them this is all coming to you and you are to disperse it amongst it. Anyway, so all the freebie table stuff I think came from the inherited stash of this longtime stitcher who had passed away. So I picked up 3 of these little tiny doodly things. And Home Sweet Home, because of course Home Sweet Home. And then I guess I got 2 Christmases, but we all know that I love Christmas. I picked up Time to Bloom off of the freebie table. We have a Flora mix sampler, Lizzie Kate, that is all kitted up. All the flosses in there. There's fabric in there at the back. This is 28 count Joblin Antique White. It's a yard. It's a big monster bit of fabric. There's only a little chunk out of the corner. I have ideas of what I can use this for. So that is there. And then this is a cute little Kingery teal something, a nice size piece of fabric in a bright blue. That one's from R&R Reproductions. And so those are what I picked up from the freebie table, the stash of a stitcher who had passed, who had left all of her stuff to Heather, who was sitting at our table. It was a very small retreat. I believe I said 30 people. A lot of fun. It was really kind of nice in that there were 5 tables, 6 people at a table, make sure my math's right, but you could almost talk to anybody at any table at any time just across the room, just because the room was small. The tables were still, you know, plenty of distance, that it was easy to walk between the tables and move around. It was a good time. It was, I liked it. Like I said, this is one that I would go back to in a heartbeat. It's just a little bit far for me, so we'll have to think about it next year if it comes up again. I loved it. One unique fun thing we had is also in addition to celebrations. Goodness, celebrations of finishes and whatnot, we celebrated the frog. So if you had to frog a few stitches, there was, you know, you go up, you ring the bell, I had to frog, we mostly put on a sad face, but there were a couple of stickers you could choose from. Frog and Toad are friends. And then about floss, pick out a green floss. And then there was a big stuffed frog that you could take back to sit with you at your table in case you needed some company while you had to pull out your stitches. So that was this monster retreat where I went crazy. I just bought way too much stuff, but I had an awfully good time. Is that everything? Yep. I guess we do the most recent retreat, which was the Crazy Woman retreat, which is held in Casper, Wyoming each year, and it is put on by Misty Conelly. I guess I can show you my stitching for these as we come across them. What do we want to do? Let's do the, what's its thing pattern. So Lindsay from Counting Puddles was our guest designer, and she designed this terrific pattern based on the Crazy Woman stitching logo. And on the main pattern it is a horse, but there's a QR code that we can scan inside to turn him into a unicorn. And she signed, it looks like she signed everybody's pattern. So that is really, it's ridiculously cute, you guys. It's just cute. We got all the DMCs to stitch her with. And we got the fabric. Fabric was provided by Live and Die in LA. It's a bright, 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 fantastic blue. Isn't that pretty? Very, very pretty. Let's see. Also, in that, it was the a shimmery, shiny mug with a straw, and still inside of my mug, I don't know if it'll show, but there's a sticker that says Crazy Woman 2024. In this bag, I have a couple of, random things from my table mates. I'm going to be lost. One of my table mates, they gave out these beautiful, beautiful scissors. They're heavy. They're heavy duty. And then another of my table mates gave out this floss. Let's tuck these back in here. My table mates were Sarah from Our Stitchy Kingdom and her mother Carrie, and it was delightful to get to catch up with them again. And then Amanda and her daughter Holly also sat with us, and we were going to sit with Stasha and her daughter-in-law, but we thought the tables would be holding 8. Turns out they only held 6. And so before Sarah and Carrie had arrived, Stasha and I were having a debate. Okay, well, who's going to sit where? And because it's not going to fit everybody. And we thought about, well, we could always steal chairs and drag, another chair over. That would be great. That would work. And I said, oh, well, there's 2 chairs over there. Lisa and I can go sit over there and meet some new people. And Stasha looked over to where I was pointing and she said, oh, I know those ladies. I'll go sit over there and get caught up with them. So while it was sad we didn't get to sit with Stasha or Catherine, it was great that they got to catch up with some ladies that they knew. At Crazy Woman, there were a ton of women that I had met over the years at various different retreats, so it was fun to just kind of wander around and catch up with this person and that person and the other person, and we had a great, great time. So let's pull up. I had to stick everything in a big old box because I may have continued going crazy. We did a bag exchange, and I selected, the idea was to wrap your bag in a bag or wrapping that reflected what it was. So this came from Deborah. There were 6 Deborahs at the retreat, and she put it in this beautiful purple bag with the plants. And so I thought, ooh, purple and plants. I love purple and plants. So I picked that up. I didn't get purple, but I got some gorgeous roses, and so she had put this together. She didn't make it. She found it somewhere. I don't think the seamstresses, no, there's no tags. I don't know where this came from. Anyway, beautiful, and it has a little tiny notions bag in there, so that's fun. Plus a little matching needle minder. So you've got the whole set. You can be very on trend, very matchy-matchy. So now that I've got this one, I have a project that I need to put in a bag because all my bags are still in the storage unit. But I couldn't use this until I showed you guys. So now it's free reign, free for all. I can use that. I sent off into the world a So Much to Love bag that says I have the patience to stab things a million times, something like that. And it was purple and black. And the lady who got that one really enjoyed it. Then for the smalls exchange, I stitched up a little chicken from one of Satsuma Street's funky chickens, and my best friend Lisa finished it. And I did take a little short video right here of my funky chicken. Here we are at Casper, and here's my cute little Satsuma Street chicken, all finished up. And this is probably going to blow out a bit from the window on a spool. Best friend Lisa finished her off for me. She wanted her to have a fancy tail. And there goes the air conditioning. So we're going to finish this off before it really kicks in and gets super loud. But there you go. My chicken all finished, ready to be given away. So the funky chicken went out on the table, and one of the girls who I see frequently, Megan, up at Stitchery Express for Saturday stitching, she pulled my bag and was super excited to see my funky chicken. I pulled one from Lucy, who stitched a really lovely lotus flower in Galaxy Designs, and you guys know I love me some purple and teal, and it is on a sparkly Ada. So I think I'm going to take this to work and hang it on my cube wall just to brighten the day. It's really, really lovely. And Lucy apparently concocts, I don't know if concocts, is a maker of nummy stuff. So she included a homemade lip balm and a sugar scrub. This is Mango Lime Sugar Scrub from Loosey Goosey Essentials. I have to cover my face so it'll focus. And this smells divine. It wouldn't do me any good to unscrew. I'm going to do it anyway. I really, it smells so good. So this is going into the bathroom. The sugar scrub and all that. So that was what I pulled off of the Smalls Exchange table. Let's freebie table. I picked up a mesh bag. There was a gal who just loved sewing mesh bags. And then I picked up a pattern for pin book. So I thought, well, maybe next year I'll be sewing pin books by the billions, pin books galore, just so I know, whatever, as stitchy gifts, something like that. Holly gave us cute little bags and then told us all to autograph them like you do your yearbook. So that was adorable. Carrie and her mom, not Carrie and her mom, Sarah and her mom went all out with like supplies that you need. Here is tissues and scissors and the magnety things that you put around your stuff, and a nail file and lotion, and there's a snag nabbit in this little thing to keep you away, and these, and soft woolly socks. I mean, That is some fine table gifting right there, I tell you what. I passed out some stickers and I couldn't find the needle minders that I had bought to give away at that retreat because they're in the storage unit somewhere and heaven only knows where they are. Let's see. What did we... I picked out this design from Crafty Cats from Counting Puddles because I have one of them, they're animals. She's cleaning in her face, so I thought, well, maybe we'll have to change one of these little orange cats into a tuxedo. Cricklewood Crossing was there, and she had released the first of her holiday songs. I guess there's going to be 7 more, maybe 8 total in the series. This is for Hark the Herald Angels Sing. Beautiful, beautiful. And then she had the fabric and floss all right there in a kit. And so I picked that up because I was feeling crazy again, you guys. I was just feeling crazy again. And then, all right, the real crazy. Ugh. There's more in here that I need to separate out. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, are we ready? I think this is what happens when I don't have access to my stash as I start stashing up again. Alright, so I went over to Live and Die in LA, her booth, and we had this Shades of Purple, which is a limited edition, and you guys know how I feel about purple, so I purchased this. It's nice and dark and moody, and woo! I just looking forward to that. And then I also picked up, this is Heather's, a lighter purple, also very, very beautiful. So those were from Live and Die in LA. And then I picked up, this is a 50-yard skein of Mad Hatter, purples and oranges, and a little dark gray and a little dark black. It's really quite a fun one. Put that over there. And then I picked up the little Just Pin packet for all of the little the monthly pin cushions from Primrose Cottage. I did win a door prize, similar to a drawer prize. It is an assortment of flosses. Some of them are labeled. This is Blaze, this is Pale Purple, and then these, whoops, delightful flosses. There's a door prize from Live and Die in LA. Like that. Lucky, lucky, right? Lucky me. So those I need to record, put in my inventory tracker. And then, well, I hit Red Thicket fabric a couple of times. I love Summer, and she does some really nice fabrics, colors in the dyes. So, you know, Red Thicket, redthicket.com, get it over, see if it'll focus. She doesn't have everything that she does on her website, but you can always send her a request. So in an unusual thing, I got this really delicious orange. This is called Pardon Me. And then more to my usual. This is Royal Velour. Purples, and it's an opalescent. This is a 28 count. Yep. And is this a 28 count? Yep, this is 2 28 counts. So I picked those up. And then later on, as I was wandering around, had to hit her up again. I picked up a sky blue. This is a 32 count linen, fat quarter. This is a 28 count tranquil, soft greens, kind of sea foamy, very nice. A little bit of tranquil. And then this is, what is this? This is Dark Juliet. This is another 32 count linen. It's mostly pink, but has a little bit of undertones of kind of peaches and a little bit of orange. Kind of unusual for me, but I don't know. I just liked it on the, I think that was the second day we were at the retreat that I picked those up. And so that is all of my purchasing and stuff from Crazy Woman. Now, since Crazy Woman was the last retreat that I went to, do you want to see the stitching? Do you want to see how far I've gotten on my things? Of course you do. Oops. Of course it's not going to cooperate. Here we go. So here's where I currently am with inspiration. So I'm sorry, it's all wrapped up right now. So what I have accomplished this year is I finished off over here earlier in the year, and then woohoo, at the Billings retreat I finished off this border, and I'm now working in this area, kind of with the church and down through this spray of flowers. So you can see that I'm kind of, yeah, I finished off the church. I'm working on the sprays of flowers, and then I'll get the trees and the people that are down underneath the church and fill in the last little bits of flowers. So that's where we're at for inspiration. I think it's coming along really, really quite well. Not sure which way to tip the frame so you get the best view. Oh, this is going to take a second because it all goes in here just right, so it fits just right. There we go. Now you guys and you. So that's my main, has been my main project to stitch on while at retreats, and I plan on taking it to that one place, Stitch West, come on October and work on it some more. And then here is Al Forest Embroidery. Which basket are you in? You are in this one. This one's not rolled up quite as much because I'm using one of my spring tension hoops, so you can see that I've got quite a bit done. I forget where I was the last time I was able to talk to you guys. But there we go. I found the bottom corner. I found the top line. Now I just need to find the other edge. I'm really liking this. Yeah, really, really, really enjoying my work on my Al Forest Pansies. Oh, it's so cute. So cute. The colors, I am using a kit that had the over-dyed flosses from Al Forest, and they're just fantastic. Really liking those. So those are my two retreat projects. And then I have been doing a little bit of stitching at home. I have to, I mean, if I'm going to a retreat, I need another smalls exchange. And so the first one was the funky chickens. The first one to go was that chicken, and then I have finished this chicken. And so this is What the Cluck. So that one is all ready to go to Lisa, and she will fully finish it for me. And then this will be on the giveaway table. Well, this will be the smalls exchange for Stitch West. So if you are looking for a chicken, there will be a chicken. There might be more than one chicken. Anyway, I need to get that to Lisa to have her so she can finish it, and probably the sooner the better, so she has plenty of time. What else are we working on, Kat? Oh yeah. Well, at that one place that I went. No, you're not helping. That's not helpful. At Crazy Woman, I bought the Halloween Quaker. Whoops, it's all tangled up. Anyway, Halloween Quaker from Primrose Cottage. It was kind of a recent release. I have my stitchy stand set up over here, but I'm not currently using it. Can you please stop? And then I am working on that on a piece of thistle from Red Thicket. I'm enjoying this. I've just got a couple of evenings in on it, and then I'm not working on it super fast, so that's coming along nicely. And then I have changed out the color of the orange and the yellow. It calls for, the orange that it calls for is sweet potato, and I have to just, you know, I'm a mess, you guys, and you guys know I'm a mess. So Weeks Dye Works is sweet potato, and Sassy Brass is a classic colorworks, and the Sassy Brass is the yellow. But I felt that they were kind of overwhelming on they overwhelmed the fabric, and so I changed them out to sweet potato became Weeks Dye Works carrot, and then Sassy Brass became Weeks Dye Works Yukon Gold, and so those got changed out. So I'm just kind of working on this a little bit in the evenings. I have Lady of the Flag is back from the storage unit. I found her and brought her back, but I haven't worked on her at all recently. I am looking forward to being able to get to work on her, hopefully one of these days soon, but no guarantees. Let's put that there. I had decided to, some time ago I cut out some fabrics to make grime guards with, and so I did that on Saturday while I was doing my laundry. I just sat there and sewed, and I have to say that my experiments were not as successful as I had hoped, because from the directions that I had gathered off of the internets, it said to cut the elastic to be half the length of your fabric. So if your fabric was 20 inches, you needed to cut it to 10. So I did exactly as suggested, but I think the elastic is still too tight because I put it on, actually I put it on Halloween Quaker, and there was like a teeny tiny hole to stitch in, and I'm like, well, that's not what I want. So I think I'm going to have to open all of these out, pull out the elastic, cut a longer elastic, and put more elastic and put a different elastic in. So that's probably a project for one of these days. I don't know when one of these days is, but it is definitely a one of these days projects. And then the last thing that I have been working on is a hat for my friend. This is, let's see, unfold it without showing all the stuff. It's supposed to be Chetney's hat. And so I have, whoops, that's the back. So I've got the outer hat stitched, which you saw last time, and now I've got the inner hat stitched. And so all that's left for me to do is to pick up around on the edges and do an implied I-cord edging to finish it off, and then I can send it back to my friend. And I really hope it fits him, because it seems like it's small. It barely fits me. And I think he said he had a fat head, so I don't know. But it's cute. He won't mind that I tried it on. Anyway, so that is my one and only knitting project, because all of my knits are in the storage unit still. What did I do? Oh. Anyway, are still at the, all my, yarn is at the storage unit and hasn't come home yet. Eventually it'll live on the bookshelf behind me. And that's that. And then, since we were being crazy Let's get this out. I purchased, the gal who put on the Billings retreat was going to put on a retreat the same weekend as Crazy Woman in Missoula, and the Blue Flower was the pattern designer of that. And so this is a early release of Heart of the Mountains. And then since she had to cancel that retreat, I think only 35 people had signed up, and so it was offered, kits were offered for anybody who was in the group who wanted to. So I got the kit fabric, the pattern, and all the cottage threads. Cottage garden threads, yeah, all the cottage garden threads called for. I turned loose one of those. Here's some of these. I'm making a mess. No, princess, don't. Some of these. No. And then some of these. So this I want to start. And I think this is what was going to go into the project bag over there. So I got all that entered into the inventory system. So that came in the mail the other day. Then one of my favorite yarn dyers was having a flash sale. And so I picked up this gradient set of yarn that goes, she calls it Blurple. Just a Dream, half bent sale. So it goes from the purples around into the blues. You can't see the blues as well as the purples. Maybe if I move my hand so you can see the bottoms. Anyway, a beautiful, beautiful gradient set. So that arrived just the other day. Needs to be inventoried. And then I went crazy and ordered the first two of the North Atlantic mermaids, not the North Atlantic, but the first two of the 7 Sea mermaids. So I have North Atlantic and South Atlantic mermaids. And I bought their bead packs so that I would have them when I get around to them. So now I'm thinking about what fabric do I want to stitch it on. It calls for a touch of blue from Wicheldt. And I swear I've stitched on touch of blue before, and it's a more of a gray blue. So I don't think that I really want to stitch it on touch of blue. And I'm thinking that we'll see who is offering fabric at Stitch West. Maybe I can get all my fabric home from the storage unit, and then I can look through that and decide if any of those girls could go on any of these. And they're just slightly bigger than would be able to put 2 on a fat quarter. So a fat quarter is about 13 inches. You know, the short side is 13 inches and the long side is 17. So they're just too long to put on a 13-inch side. They'd be okay on a 17-inch side because I think one is 7 inches and the other is 5 inches, so you could work that out for cutting in half the 17-inch long side, but they're just too long for just barely. They're like 11.5 inches, so 12 inches, which would only give you a half-inch margin, and that's just too close of a margin for what I'm comfortable with and how I like to have my things framed. So it's gonna have to take up a whole maybe if I get a fat half, I might be able to squeeze 3 mermaids onto a fat half. Maybe. I'll have to do some math. But anyway, so that's everything since last July, and it's a bit much. It's a lot of stuff. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff. But we've had an awful good time, even when we were kicked out of the house for a month while everything was painted and carpeted and refinished the wood floors. And let me tell you, refinishing wood floors, that's stinky. Yep. So one of these days, my little realm will be put back together. I've kind of put together a stitchy chair and an aught light and enough stuff so that I can stitch of an evening. I haven't brought my desk back in yet, so that needs to happen. But soon things will happen. Soon it'll get back to normal. Still stuff to buy too. I need a big old thing to put. My desk doesn't have many drawers, so I need a thing of drawers to put desk type stuff in, if that makes any sense. Anyway, rambling. I hope you guys are doing okay. One step forward, one step up. Kindness costs you nothing. Hugs and stitches, everyone. Be good. Bye.